Hi, I'm Geni Dean and I'm with 4-H here in Russell County, and we are here with our lovely agent assistant, Brianna.
My name is Brianna McGuine. I'm the 4-H agent assistant here in Russell County.
And we're here to introduce to you guys a brand new program that we're bringing to schools coming this fall. It's called our Living Streams program, and it gets the kids outside, gets them in the water, gets them looking for macroinvertebrates, and we'll talk more about what that exactly is later, and just kind of gets them in a hands-on science experiment. And it's really fun, and the kids love it. They love getting in the water, and we're going to show you guys in just a second. We're down at the stream. This is a part of the Mill Creek Stream Watershed Project. Auburn University, in conjunction with Auburn University Extension Office, is working together to create areas like this for kids to be able to come down and use. This area happens to be at the back of Phoenix City Intermediate School. They've got a great area to come down and do a lot of research on the stream here, do a lot of stream testing and water testing. And so they've worked really hard to make this really student accessible and be able to use this and utilize this for teaching. And so we're going to start with some preparations that we would do before the kids would come out. We would go ahead and come down, set up all of our equipment, and then we would get some posters. We'd have posters of Alabama watersheds, and we'd introduce some of the topics like watersheds. What is a watershed? Do you know?
No.
A watershed is an area of land that when it rains on it, that rain flows down into a body of water. And so a watershed is just simply a big area of land. And this area of land happens to all flow down into Mill Creek, and the Mill Creek flows down into
Chattahoochee.
Yeah, it does. So we're learning a little bit about what helps Chattahoochee River stay healthy and what is going to help our creeks stay healthy as well. And one of those things that you can tell if the stream is healthy or not is what kind of bugs live there. So bugs, for technical term, we're going to use macroinvertebrates. And so macro, you can see with the naked eye, and invertebrates means they don't have a backbone. So we're going to be looking for some bugs today. We hope we can find some really quickly for you guys. If we can't, we're going to show you lots of cool photos of what we would actually find with the kids, and we'll be back with you guys in just a little bit. So some of the equipment that we're going to use for this project are a study pan, which Brianna's holding now. It's white so that we can fill it up with a little bit of water, about an inch of water, and then we can put any macroinvertebrates in it that we find. That way they stay healthy, because the last thing we want to do is kill those little bugs. We want to keep them healthy so the kids can see them and then return them right back to the stream. We're also going to have to use a big kick net, and those nets are fabulous because the bugs like to live up underneath the edges of the banks, and they also love to live in big leaf piles that pile up behind rocks and stuff in the stream. So we need a big kick net to be able to get up underneath the corners of the river and to be able to scoop up all those leaves. We're also going to use a big drop cloth on the ground, so once we scoop everything up, we're going to put this cloth down and we're going to dump all of our leaf matter and all that mud on top of there. We're going to spread it out, and then we're going to wait a few minutes and see if anything starts to wiggle, because the bugs sometimes get a little scared when they get disturbed. And so you got to give them a second to think about their life and think about if they want to run back to the stream or not. And they'll usually start to wiggle around and we'll be able to see them. In our study pan, there are several different handouts that we will show the kids. There's the volunteer monitors field guide, so everybody, a leader in each group, will have a aquatic vertebrates field guide, and it has all the different macroinvertebrates inside it that will show what they're finding, how to identify them, all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, they'll be able to really figure out what they're looking at and what kind of bugs there are out there in the stream, okay? There's also going to be a cheat sheet, if you will, a quick guide to the macroinvertebrates and the snails that they might find in this stream. And the macroinvertebrates are split up into 3 different categories. A category 1 bug is very pollution intolerant. That means they can't stand any single little bit of pollution at all. And a category 2 bug can stand a little bit of pollution, but a category 3 bug could handle a whole lot of pollution. All right, so now we're gonna also look at the microscope that we have, for the kids can put the bugs in the microscope and they can see them up close. And then we've also got our big giant field guide that we're going to use to keep everybody under control and managed. And then when we find those little bugs, we've got a pipette, and we've also got a pair of tweezers to be able to pick up, because some of them are super duper tiny. And then we'll look at them and we'll make sure we get them right back in the stream. So now we're going to go in the stream. We're going to see if we can find something. So Brianna's going to go to the stream, and she's going to put about 1 inch of water in our bucket. Make sure it's nice and clean. She's not trying to get any of the dirt or the silt. That way she can see the bugs easily once we find them. And then she's going to come back and set it next to her drop cloth. And then she's going to take her kick net and she's going to enter the water. We would usually have about 1 adult for every 8 kids headed into the water. And what she's going to do is she's going to walk across the stream and up underneath the edges of the stream banks and around that fallen log. She's going to find lots of different leaves. She's going to be able to find lots of mud, lots of places that little bugs would love to be. So she's trying to scoop up those little leaves, those little bugs that are filling up on the bottom, living in the silt, in the sand. She's also going to go over to the side of the stream, and she's going to run her kick net up underneath the edges of the stream. She's going to try to pick up a little bit of that silt, see if there's any leaf matter that she can pick up, because those little bitty macroinvertebrates love to hang out on those leaves and hide, especially if they feel a little scared. And then she's going to come back in a little bit after she finishes that, and she's going to spread that stuff out, and we're going to check it out. I'm going to go in the stream and help now, and hopefully we'll be able to find you some bugs. We're going to dump out what we got in our nets, and then we're also going to lay our net on this as well, because there could be some that are hiding out in there. And then we're just going to start digging through the mud and spreading it out a little bit, spreading out our leaves. And we're just going to let it rest for a second or two, and we should start seeing some movement in just a minute if we got anything. So we teach the kids how to look closely, how to examine what they're looking at. We're going to teach them how to pick up the leaves and look at both sides of the leaves. And it teaches a little bit of patience too, because you have to be patient, because these little guys are teeny tiny, and we are trying to find them in their own environment. So we're kind of entering their environment. So sometimes they're a little harder to find than others, but usually we can find a few. So we have been looking for probably maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes. The kids would spend a good solid 20 minutes in the stream. And we have found a snail that is a group 1 bug. And so group 1 bugs can only live in streams that are free of pollution or have very, very low pollution because they're pollution intolerant. They can't stand any pollution. So we found a little snail, and he's in our little viewer here, and we're going to see if we can get the camera to be able to view him. But he's super cute, and we're going to make sure that he goes back in the water nice and safe and sound. We also found a tadpole as we were out digging around. But like I said, we spent about 5 minutes. We found a couple of things. One thing that proves that this stream is clean by our macroinvertebrate sheet, and if we kept digging for the regular 20-25 minutes that the kids would be in the stream, I'm sure we would come up with a lot more macroinvertebrates.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the 4-H Public Speaking Competition. My name is Jennifer Davidson. I'm the County Extension Coordinator here with Russell County Extension. And I wanted to take a moment and let's give Geni Dean a big thanks for putting this program together. She's your 4-H agent here in Russell County. So thanks, Miss Geni. This is an annual event that we do every year, and we're so proud to present it here in Russell County. Public speaking is a very important life skill, and 4-H, we're here to teach the kids life skills, so we are so glad that you're here to support your Russell County youth.
My name is Deborah Williams, and the story I'm going to be telling you today is What Do You Do With the Problem by Koli Yadama. I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with the problem, I thought. I tried to make it go away. I shooed it, I scowled at it, and I even tried to ignore it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallowed me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if my problem takes away all my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen, and I worried about what could happen. I worried about this, and I worried about that. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. My problem, when I wanted to face my problem, I discovered it had something beautiful inside. My problem showed me that it has an opportunity. Every problem has an opportunity. You just have to look for it. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. What are problems for? They shape us, they push us, and help us discover how strong and capable we really are. So, what do you do with your problem? Now that's up to you.
Good afternoon, honorable judges, my fellow 4-Hers, ladies and gentlemen. My subject is diabetes. What is it and why it happens? According to the American Diabetes Association, diabetes is defined as a condition in which sugar levels in your blood are high. There is no cure for diabetes. However, it can be managed. The National Diabetes Statistic Report states that there are approximately 422 million people worldwide have been diagnosed with diabetes. Approximately 30 million reside in the United States, and 1.25 million are children. 3 things occur when you have diabetes. First, your pancreas makes little or no insulin. Secondly, your body prevents the insulin you make from working right. Lastly, your liver makes too much sugar. The most common types of diabetes are type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes occurs when the body makes little or no insulin due to an overactive autoimmune system. Most people with type 1 diabetes are children and young adults, but it can appear in older adults. Type 2 diabetes occurs when your body prevents the insulin it does make from working right. Your body makes some insulin, but not enough. Most people with type 2 diabetes are older and overweight. There are 4 ways doctors can determine if you have diabetes. First, your A1C, a test that measures your estimated average blood sugar level, which should be at 6.5% or higher over the past 2 to 3 months. Your fasting blood sugar is 126 milligrams or higher. Thirdly, the result of your oral glucose tolerance test is 200 milligrams or higher. Lastly, you have symptoms of high blood sugar. Examples to include frequent urination, extreme hunger and thirst, blurry vision, wounds that will not heal, or numbness or tingling hands or feet. You can manage your diabetes by working with a team. The team should consist of your doctor, a nurse, a diabetes educator, dietitian, pharmacist. However, you are the most important member of your team because you are the expert on how you feel. Some people think that they have diabetes because of something they did or did not do, but that is not always true. Diabetes is not anyone's fault. No one knows what causes it. Your eating and activity choices play a role in your blood sugar control, but it is not the whole story. Diabetes is a condition that you can manage. You are in charge of the day-to-day care of your diabetes. As the captain of your team, you need to learn as much as you can about diabetes in general. Secondly, know as much as possible about your diabetes and your health. Third, know how to get the most from your visits with your diabetes care team.
Hello, my name is Ash Davidson, and in my opinion, the best plane in the Naval Fleet is the FA-18E Super Hornet. The Super Hornet is a twin-engine, carrier-based, all-weather multi-role fighter. There are some other great naval planes too, including the F-35C Lightning II, the FA-18C Hornet, the EA-18G Growler. The F-35C Lightning is a stealthy supersonic fighter jet. It is a single-seat, single-engine, all-weather, multi-role combat fighter. The FA-18C Hornet is a twin-engine, supersonic, all-weather, carrier-based multi-role fighter. The FA-18C Hornet was the original design of the FA-18EF Super Hornet. It is less stealthy and not as quick. The Super Hornet is more modern, more stealthy, and able to turn faster and accelerate faster. The EA-18G Growler was designed from the FA-18EF Super Hornet. Since its stealth design is similar, but its frame is not. The weapons on the FA-18EF Super Hornet are more powerful and can bomb better targets, and instead of the EA-18G Growler does not have land-ground bombing targets. They're similar because they're both used today and they are both quick. But it is larger and more bulky. The EA-18G Growler is larger and more bulkier than the FA-18EF Super Hornet. And it can take more hits than it. But it flies in larger groups, so the attacker plane has to dodge other planes' bullets because they usually outnumber the enemy fleet. We compare the information, the production info
by the F-35C Lightning cost $132 million, the Hornet cost $29 million, the Growler cost $68 million, the Super Hornet cost $980 million. Even though the Super Hornet even though the Super Hornet costs less than some, it's still superior to the others. According to Wikipedia, the FA-18EF Super Hornet was the most cost-effective plane in the U.S. tactical aviation fleet. Meaning it's costs less per flight hour. Some more cool features of the FA-18EF Super Hornet include under the bottom of the plane there are enclosed weapon pods to make it harder to see, and special fuel tanks on the top for longer range and a decreased drag. These reasons the Super Hornet are better, in my opinion, again, are because it is quicker and able to make sharper turns than others, able to do a move called the thwack wave, which makes, there are two planes, one's on the top, one on the bottom, they move up and down and side to side. And so they have to target one, leaving the other planes with a clear shot. And number two, they have bombs, air-to-surface bombs, allowing it to drop it and hit small targets and take them out. And three, they are based on a carrier, so they're able to hit land or ship targets and be able to move all over the ocean. I hope you agree with me, because my favorite plane is the FA-18EF Super Hornet. I hope you will agree with me. The FA-18EF Super Hornet, in my opinion, is the best plane in the Navy and in the air today.
Thanks for tuning in. We do go into the schools and have after-school programs for 4-H, and if you're interested in doing cool stuff like this every day in our 4-H programs, please call the Russell County Extension office and we'll get you in them.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.